When Dog Beats came out, sometimes we'd hide up in this storage room at Alex's store, Hot Hits Records, and we'd listen to Alex try and pawn our tapes off to people. There was a nail hole in the wall, so we'd take turns watching Alex in action. Kids would come in and ask, "You got that new EPMD?" "Fuck EPMD, man," Alex would snap back. "You gotta check out this ICP.
I see who?
ICP Dog Beats. It's so fresh, man.
Nah, I want to get that new EPMD.
Man, I'm telling you, this ICP though, you gotta check this shit out. Alex just wouldn't let them go until they bought Dog Beats. That truth was, Dog Beats wasn't selling everywhere like we had hoped. We'd given away more than we sold altogether. We needed another plan. We called our 25th meeting in Alex's mom's basement, that same earwig-infested basement in the ghetto-ass part of Oak Park, right near where we used to live. Up until that night, all the meetings in Alex's basement were only about shit like, where are you gonna promote? And you got Karen's car to win? And alright, Alex has his own car, so you guys go way out to Toledo and promote out there, and I'll be back up to pick Karen up at work at 9 o'clock, blah blah blah. This meeting was different though. This was a big meeting of the minds. We started out talking about the Detroit music scene. At this point, we had never even tried to focus on the whole country. All we were focused on was the local scene, because that's where we were, and also because that's all we could handle at this point. There were only two major local rappers making any noise in Detroit at this time. One of them was Kid Rock, who had his first album out called Grit Sandwiches for Breakfast. I had it in my collection, but I never really liked it because it wasn't really a local release that he'd put out himself like all the other local rap tapes I collected. Kid Rock's album, Shit Sandwiches, was a major national release put out by Jive Records. Plus, I wasn't much of a fan because I'd always thought he rapped kinda weak. I never liked that faggy sounding, bouncy, whining rap style that so many white rappers like the Beasties or Fred Durst often used. To me, it sounded like it should be called the weakling crybaby style. Kid Rock's record was getting old, and he was starting to lose his local fame. Basically, he was starting to fall off, so to speak. 1990 was more or less his big year locally, I think. He was definitely a local star, though, and he was on top of the world by far compared to us. Then there was this other Detroit big-name rapper, Esham the Unholy. He was this wicked-ass satanic-sounding rapper who had everybody talking about him in his lyrics. Everybody. The stores, the fans, other rappers, everybody talked about Esham himself more than they did his music, because the shit he said in his raps was so inconceivable. Esham was doing something pretty much brand fucking new in rap. He called his style acid rap. He was spitting what I call horror rap. Hardly anybody in Michigan had ever heard anything like that before when Esham first came out except us. We respected and jocked the fuck out of Esham, but we knew where his acid rap idea came from. Esham had gotten the whole horror, insanity, and rap idea from a couple of relatively unknown Ghetto Boys songs. They were the source for his horror wicked shit inspiration. Sure, the Ghetto Boys dabbled and played with the horror element, but Esham made it his own. He named it acid rap, aka the wicked shit.
Some more wicked shit for you. Some more wicked shit for you. Some more wicked shit for you. Some more wicked shit. Midnight's a witch's hour and you're outside. Somebody played a real life product tape and committed suicide, trying to save the soul. It can't be done. A holy to the son of Satan. I ain't the one. Congratulations, brothers and sisters who prayed for me. Some slave for me and still pray for me. I made a rhyme satanic to make it vomit, and I'm the shit. When it comes down to it, you knew it and know it. Satan's poet.
He gave it a life and a style. He dropped it solidly in pretty much every one of his songs. The Ghetto Boys were the first to do horror rap, as far as I know. And I've fucking done an investigation. And it turns out the first horror rap song ever recorded that I know of was recorded back in 1986, written by a rapper named Prince Johnny C, who at the time was in the Ghetto Boys, and the song was called Assassins. And we actually remade the song Assassins on the ChzBrgr album, which you'll hear about later. But the Ghetto Boys and Prince Johnny C were the first ever to do the horror rap style that I can ever conceive of, and I've launched a long investigation. But like I said, Esham made it his own. Even so, he never stole nothing. I'm sure it was a tough lyric here and a cuss word there in certain old school rap songs that gave NWA and Ice-T their ideas for gangster rap. Now it fucking works everywhere. Esham was the greatest shit ever to me. People, including me and my boys, were scared of Esham's tapes. I was scared to even touch them, and I'll tell you why. There were 3 things about Esham back then that seemed to bring the whole idea of him being crazy for real to life. 3 things even the Ghetto Boys never had. 3 things seemed to set him off for real. I believe the following are the 3 secret ingredients to what made Esham's crazy raps seem so believable to people. Reason number 1, he was alone. Esham was a lone MC, and not with a posse or a crew of some type. He never gave out shout-outs of any type, or any special thanks in his credits, or any of that shit. Back then, every other local rapper knew another local rapper, and they gave each other shout-outs on their tapes. Rappers even used to put out tapes together, one side featuring this MC, and the other side featuring that MC, just to save money on pressing costs. Not Esham. He had full albums out, with full color, with nobody on them bitches even in the credits. He never really had any other voices at all in his music either. It was always just him alone on everything. Plus, he made all his music and engineered all his shit alone, by himself, at his own studio. People didn't even know where he recorded. The simple fact that seemed so real about Esham in the game was that he was all by himself, and that maybe made people think he really was a satanic killer rapper. Satanic killers don't have pals, do they? Well, I guess they could, but not the scary ones at least. Number 2, Esham's independence. Everybody knew who Esham was, and we all had his shit, yet he wasn't on a major record label. In fact, he put out all his shit by himself. It was him and his brother and whoever else they had in their mysterious real-life productions workshop located someplace in the city. This also made it all seem more believable, because what kind of major label would ever want to do business with an insane satanic rapper? None, right? Exactly. Thus explaining why Esham did everything himself. He pressed up his own CDs and tapes, put them in the stores, all of that by himself. Just seeing his devilish looking self-owned record company logo of a devil with a moon behind him made it all that much more believable and scary to people, especially me. Number 3, that other. Esham must have known that in order to shock people in rap, you couldn't just be another gangster rapper anymore. That had already been done 1,000 times already. You can't fuck a Hottie's Nedden from Upside Down on an album anymore either, because that too had been done 1,000,000 times. Even that unholiness had been fucked with in rock and roll many, many times. But never in rap, however. Never ever in rap. He went for the gusto. He added that untouchable, unfuckwittable element that nobody ever wants to even talk about. Not even the baddest of the bad guys want to be down with what Esham was talking about. The devil. Not in reverse, not coded, not anything but flat fucking out in plain English. He even called himself the Unholy. How scary is that word? The Unholy. And what kind of name is Esham? And put it together. Esham the Unholy. The satanic rapper. It was so scary and fucking real. Not all horror, though, is all about that shit. The original Ghetto Boys were the first ever to kick the wicked shit, as I said, with a song called Assassins. They were the absolute first ever to do horror raps with rhymes like this.
My father was a priest, cold-blooded, he's dead. Hypocrite, I caught him basing, so I shot him in the head. Poured
after that, the Getter Boys patented horror rap again with their second album, Grip It, On the Other Level, with horrorcore songs like Mind of a Lunatic, Trigger Happy Nigga, and much, much more way back in 1990. Nonetheless, Esham took that style and really stretched it out into a whole new Detroit thing. We were fucking hip to that, and we were down with it. We looked up to him like a giant. We talked in Alex's mom's basement. Man, look at LA for example. First came NWA and Ice-T. Then came Compton's Most Wanted, Above the Law, WC and the Mad Circle, and everything else in gangster rap, right? All these rappers are doing gangster rap in LA. Gangster rap is known worldwide as LA's style of rap. Well, what is Detroit's rap known for? The unholy Esham. Then you got redneck ass Kid Rock riding around in a tractor in his video. This is some crazy ass cartoon shit. Maybe the reason nobody's buying dog beats is because we're just doing some of that same old gangster rap like everybody else. Man, we ain't from fucking LA. Why don't we just get brave and add this crazy Detroit sound? Like Esham, let's do what we're about. The wicked shit. Let's make Detroit the home of true horror shit. Only fuck that shit. We ain't gotta rap about no devil shit. We'll discover our own shit. More moons had gone by. Let's add our own sick humor too. Let's create something brand new. Look at Detroit's music scene. It's crazy. You got a redneck kid from 28 Mile Road and a devilish 666 rapper. This is fucking music for the mad. Let's tap into our creative side. Let's dig deep and find what pisses us off. Let's keep it real, y'all. According to most people, we ain't the shit. We're scrubs. We are and always have been broke as fuck, and we're known for it. We ain't tough gangsters. We've been getting fucked off our whole lives. We've been the scrubs. So we might as well try and rep it the same way. Let's rap about the shit that makes us want to become serial killers. Let's just let it all out, you know? Let's dig deep inside and pull out the stupid shit that makes us who we really are. And let's rap about it. Let's put our biggest fears and angers on tape. Everybody can relate to their own dark side. No matter where you're from, everybody was down. Then we all agreed our gangster-ass name, Inner City Posse, didn't really fit with where we were headed. All the real members of ICP, the gang, upped and quit after Dog Beats made a little waves anyway. Joey, John, and I all agreed to keep the ICP part. We felt we needed to still rep the letters ICP to let everybody out there always know that Inner City Posse's last 3 members never left and died out. We still are ICP, bitch. How about Ice Cold Pimps? How about Inner City Players? Inner City Psychos? Insane Crazy Psychos? We went through anything you could think of. Then I remembered the dream I kept having about the clown running around in Del Rey. I would still have those dreams every now and then, and this clown was becoming almost something real to me. In some dreams, he would be trying to talk to me, but I would only see his mouth moving with no sound coming out. Sometimes I would chase after the clown, but he was always too quick to catch. Then the name for ICP kind of popped into my head. As I was having these thoughts, and excitement began to build inside my stomach. I have it. Listen, I said. I got that Detroit shit. Everybody likes our clown guy, right? Everybody likes the clown on the cover of Dog Beats. Plus, our shit is gonna have tons of our own twisted humor mixed in, right? Clowns. We're scrubby-ass killer clowns. Then it hit me all at once. Let's all paint our faces like clowns and be the insane clown posse. Clowns who murder and kill people who deserve to be murdered and killed. Whoosh! Boom! The insane clown posse came about just like that. We have not exaggerated about anything, and we have fed you absolutely no lies. I wish this story was more interesting up until here, but that's it. That's the truth. That's exactly who I am. That's exactly where I came from. That is how I was raised. That is how we got started in music. And that is how we came up with our name. And that is how we came up with our style of rap. Just like that, y'all. We kicked around ideas. We wanted to fit in with what was popular in our own city, Detroit, Michigan, and what was popular was characters. It was almost like pro wrestling. Everybody had a character. Everybody had a gimmick. Esham came out in a coffin with 666 on his shirt. And Kid Rock came out in a fucking cowboy hat, chewing on straw, riding around in a fucking tractor. We wanted to fit in with what Detroit was known for. We were embracing Detroit's flavor because we are Detroit. We wanted to represent Detroit for what Detroit was becoming popular for. And the Insane Clown Posse fit us like a glove. That's why we became the Insane Clown Posse. So charismatic and charactered and gimmicked the fuck out. Because that's what Detroit was all about. Later, we learned in music that Detroit had always been about characters. Kiss wasn't from Detroit, but Detroit was one of the first cities Kiss ever really blew up in. They were playing clubs all across the country, but they were selling arenas out in Detroit. Imagine that. People loved Kiss for some reason in Detroit. Same thing with Alice Cooper, who fucking would come on stage with a fucking snake and some face paint around his eyes and all wicked style. You know, Alice Cooper did his own wicked horror rock and roll, and he blew up in Detroit first. That's why Kiss made Detroit Rock City, and that's why Alice Cooper always claimed Detroit as a second home. Because they blew up here first. Detroit has always been on some characteristic shit. It turns out, for years, Detroit has always embraced gimmick styles in music. And we fit right in. The Insane Clown Posse. The night of the Dark Carnival's arrival. That night, after our meeting, I went back to my apartment where I was living with Karen, excited as fuck about the whole thing. Karen was already asleep. I was just laying there listening to the electrifying Mojo, who was a fucking incredibly awesome Detroit DJ on an urban radio station who came on late at night and played whatever the fuck he wanted. He played a lot of Prince. He played a lot of Michael Jackson. But even on an urban R&B radio station, he wasn't afraid to play Led Zeppelin, Kiss, alternative music, punk rock, rap, all kinds of shit. The electrifying Mojo would talk between songs for a long time. He would say, when you're reaching the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on and don't let go. And he would talk, and nobody had ever seen Mojo. Nobody knew what he looked like. He never appeared in any pictures or any ads. Nobody knew anything about who the electrifying Mojo really was. Here, take a listen to Mojo yourself.
Welcome to the Midnight Funk Association, the International Midnight Funk Association, with thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of members all over the metro. The International Midnight Funk Association, Ontario, Ohio, Michigan, and the world. For the next hour, absolutely the livest music on the planet Earth will be heard. Will the members of the Midnight Funk Association please rise?
So I was just laying there, listening to the electrifying Mojo with the volume down low, trying to fall asleep. Instead, however, I was thinking of all the possibilities of our new name and image. So fucking excited. So geeked up about everything. Right when we came up with Insane Clown Posse, it just fit like a fucking condom on a dick. It just fit fucking tight and perfectly. And then imagine that dick sliding up in Beyonce's netting. That's how fucking good I felt. I knew we had found our name. I knew we had reached our calling. I couldn't fall asleep. I was too excited. Suddenly I felt a creepy sensation come over me though. It even made me jump up and look out the window at first. Come to think of it, this might have actually been the first panic attack I ever had in my life. But it wasn't a panic attack of fear. It was just a panic attack of excitement. I'm trying to explain it. I'm not going by the book here, yo. I'm going off the top of my dome. That night, I remember it so clearly. Excitement was just raging through me. And as I was laying there listening to Mojo, just the ideas and the possibilities were rolling, steamrolling through my mind. I could feel it in my legs, the anxiety and the excitement and the happiness. Insane Clown Posse will paint our faces. Everybody loved that clown on the cover of Dog Beats. And I'm not gonna lie, Esham had an EP out called Homie Don't Play. And on the cover, he was in clown paint hanging out of an old Impala. And when I first saw that tape, I thought, does this guy really wear clown paint like that when he raps? I asked the guy at the counter and he was like, no, that's just for the cover of Homie Don't Play. But that idea, rapping in clown paint, stuck with me then. And then, months and months, maybe years later in Alex's basement, when we came up with the name Insane Clown Posse, and the idea of painting our faces as clowns, it was like busting a fucking hour-long nut all over fucking Shakira's hips as she's belly dancing. It's hard to explain, but I felt as if there was something else there with me. It was like as if there might have been a cop car outside coming to pick me up and take me to jail. Or a posse of my enemies might have been out there circling my house. I felt a little fear. I felt like trouble was riding up on me, but it wasn't. I didn't have any reason to feel like I couldn't relax, but I couldn't relax at all. This very much might have been my very first panic attack. I was probably 19 or 18 when this happened. I listened as Karen breathed in and out. I stared intently through the open bedroom door out into the dark hallway that led into my living room. I almost expected to see something because that strange feeling seemed to be coming from there. Suddenly a dark shadow walked into view, very much like when me and Rob saw the figure of God walking up the steps when Mark Walensky was spending the night. But this was different. I was so scared, I couldn't hardly breathe or move. And I knew what it was right away. It was the clown from my dreams. Even though I couldn't make out any of its features, its outline, down to its jester hat, was exactly the same. I'm getting chills in the back of my neck. My fucking teeth are chilling. Its form was as if it was made of some kind of jet black substance, like oil, in the dark. I wanted to scream and jump up out of my apartment window. If I only could have moved, I probably would have done just that. This was a panic attack, but I was watching this clown. I could still remember exactly how I felt back then, as if it were happening to me right now as I'm talking this. I'm telling you, I am not sure what happened next, but I think I must have passed out. Just like when you have a panic attack, afterward, you just kind of get extremely tired. It's like your fucking melatonin kicks in or something. And that's what happened after I saw this figure of the clown standing in the hallway. I just remember I was out right after that. The moment is still lost to me. The next thing I realized in my mind, I was at a carnival of some kind, but not really. But I couldn't hear or feel anything. This carnival was massive, and everything was way larger than life. There were the roller coaster tracks that went so high they disappeared into the clouds. There was a house of mirrors that must have been 20 stories fucking tall. This carnival was completely surrounding me on all sides, and it was twisted and strange as fuck. This dream was a fucking trip. It was like I fucking smoked PCP or something. But I ain't smoked shit back then. And I've never smoked PCP, so I don't really know what that's like. But I imagine this was like it, because I was fucking straight having a crazy ass dream inspired by the clown conversation and the clown thoughts we've had and the Insane Clown Posse christening and the clown that had been in my dreams. Now I'm having this dream that I'm at this crazy ass carnival, and standing not 10 feet away from me was the clown who I had seen many times in my dreams. But this time he looked too real, as if he sat staring back at me. This was tripping me out. This is tripping me out right now. He had white and black clown makeup on in a strange pattern. and he wore a blue and pink jester's hat and a clown suit with big clown shoes and white gloves. He was the shit, no doubt, but he was a typical wicked clown. He held in his left hand a deck of giant playing cards. Each one was a Joker's card, like you might see in a normal deck of cards. You know, the Joker's card. He had a deck of them in his hand, and he began dropping them one at a time to the ground, while staring right at me. It was the craziest fucking dream I ever had. It was like I was half awake, but I wasn't, I was out. But like, the whole thoughts of the insane clown posse thing and the possibilities were still with me. I was still having them, yet I was dreaming. It must have been a panic attack that passed me out, and I was half asleep seeing this and thinking about it. I couldn't control anything, but it was happening right before my eyes like it was happening in real life. And as he did this, as he dropped these cards one at a time, I felt a dread that began to overcome me. As each card dropped, the feeling became worse for me. The horror intensified once I noticed he was almost out of cards to drop. What happens when he's all out of cards, I thought? He was talking to me, but I couldn't hear one word he was saying. Just like before, only this time it was way more vivid. He was talking to me. He was moving his fucking mouth, but I couldn't hear shit. I could tell he was saying something very fucking crazy. I could feel it in his words. I could feel it more than I could hear him. Suddenly, just before he dropped the last card, I found myself shooting upwards, high above everything. I was flying straight up, looking down at this massive carnival. As I flew up higher and higher, I was just suddenly rising, up and up and up. So high I could see the carnival was headed to a town. I was suddenly fucking, on top of the Renaissance Center high, looking down, and I could see the carnival was moving toward like a city. Then suddenly, all I could see faded. It got blurry, and then everything went black. Everything was pitch black. Even though I could see the blackness, I didn't exactly wake up just then. I was still out, and I couldn't see nothing. I could, however, suddenly hear shit now. Because I was blind, I was suddenly hearing. It started off low, and then it got louder and louder. I remember laying there trying to make out what the fuck I was listening to. I couldn't see nothing. I flew into the sky. I could see the carnival was moving toward a town, and then everything went black. And now I'm listening, and I'm trying to make it out. It got louder and louder, and then it was loud as fuck. All I could hear was screams and the sounds of chaos, like the sounds of hell. Somewhere on the internet, my brother showed me. They supposedly dug a hole somewhere deep in some foreign country, digging for oil. They dug deep and deep and deep, and they fucking found some fucking opening. And supposedly, they stuck a microphone down there, like thousands and thousands of feet below the earth, and they supposedly recorded the sounds of hell. When we listened to it on the internet, all I heard was fucking chaos, and I couldn't make out anything. But this night, during this dream, I could make it all out. It was chaos. People were dying. People were screaming. People were being fucking tortured. It was pure fucking horror. Pure fucking utter fucking horror. I could hear it. I couldn't see it, but I could hear suffering, intense fucking pain and suffering, all accompanied by a bizarre fucking laughter. It got mega fucking loud, crazy fucking loud, but I saw nothing. I could hear it though, and I can hear it right now. I'm reliving it right now. I can hear fucking hell. I can hear suffering and torture and people being punished. Mad people, all kinds of people, and some kind of crazy laughing going on. Suddenly I woke up and I was crazy tripping out. My heart was beating like it's beating right now because my arm or something must have hit the radio switch between stations and the volume was way the fuck up. All I heard was hell on volume 10. It was so dark in my room that I couldn't find a switch to cut the shit off, so I just yanked the fucking plug out. The fucking thing had batteries in it though, and it kept going. Finally, I fucking found the switch and cut it off. Karen was like,
"What the fuck is going on?"
I was like, shut up, just go back to bed. I was panicking. That radio was so fucking loud. Was that what I was hearing? Something on the radio? I don't know. And I was straight up tripping out, y'all. Holy fuck. That was a dream. That was a fucking dream and a half. I had to take a shower after that bad boy. I had to get my mind back to normal. I was too scared to go back to bed for a minute. I just wanted to change my atmosphere. I wanted to change my surroundings. I fucking spent the rest of the night sewing my wig back onto my head, trying to figure out what the fuck that crazy dream was about. I couldn't get it out of my mind. My fucking wig was flipped forever. It changed my life forever. It had to be my first panic attack looking back at it now, mixed with the crazy fucking dream of this clown haunting me that came so vivid and so real, all mixed with the possibilities of the insane clown posse and the cards falling out of his hand. It was all so fucking real, like it really fucking happened to me. It was just as real as when God walked up our steps. Just as real as the golf ball floating in the basement in the house that we found in Picker Forest. So much from the other side. So much fucking supernatural shit had happened to me at this point in my life. And this dream, I throw it right in there with it all. I've never had nothing since then like this. It was just so fucking crazy. What the fuck brought that on? What the fuck? But it changed my life forever. Sitting there, I was thinking about the wild-ass place that the clown took me to and putting it together. Like, what was he probably saying to me? What was this stupid dream? I don't know, homie. I'll tell you this, though. It could have only been crystal clear that it was so powerful that alone it would eventually somehow lead to the actual creation of all of this. All of this that is now the juggalo world of the wicked clowns. This dream was so vivid and powerful that it fucking led me. It controlled me. It gave me ideas. I just fed off this dream and went from there and started building the bricks that would lay the foundation that would become the 6 Joker cards. It was like it instructed me. I just took elements from that dream and put it into our music, put it into our characters, Violent J and Shaggy. You know, I told John and Joey and Alex about it so fucking intensely, you know, so many times. And I felt positive about this dream, just like I did when God walked up our steps. Even though it terrified me at the time, I felt like it was something I was meant to fucking go through and I was meant to learn from. I felt like this dream was instructions for me. This wasn't a normal dream. You know, maybe scientifically it was, I don't know. Maybe scientifically it was a panic attack mixed with my super positive emotions about the possibilities of Insane Clown Posse. You know, I'm trying to scientifically come up with a theory of what happened that night, but nothing will ever change my mind that it was something supernatural. You know, you may have your own explanation. A doctor or a psychologist or a therapist might have their explanation, but I'm telling you, my experience, this was something supernatural. This was something magic. This was meant to teach me something. I don't know why me. I don't know why the clown even appeared in my dreams. I don't know why everything turned out the way it did so beautifully with the juggalo world and everybody finding each other and us never having to be alone again. But I'm telling you, it all started with this dream or panic attack. You know, but fuck you, scientists. Lick my fucking balls from the back, all right? Because fuck you. I don't care scientifically what it was, because what it was to me was magic. It had to be magic. Look what it led to. Look at all of us together. Look at the good times we've all had. Take each juggalo and think about their own separate good times and enjoyment. All of that happiness, all of that positivity, all of the friendships and marriages and children that came from them, all of the positivity that the juggalo world, and we didn't create the juggalo world, it happened to us. Just like this fucking dream happened to me, and I'm telling you, all of it all spawned from the meeting that night and the fucking dream I had that night. It all spawns from that night in the apartment next to Karen Chida, laying there. Cause if that experience never happened, we would have been on a whole nother page. I don't know where you would be or where I would be, but everything is happening as a chain reaction because of that dream. Because of my vision and what happened over the next couple of days, I began to realize that either I was chosen for a grand purpose in this world, or I had gone completely fucking insane. Even now, I'm not sure which one it is. Most people during the course of their lives never see monsters chasing them down a fucking street, or an image of God in their own home, or visions from a dark carnival. But I had seen them all, straight up. By the time I was 19, I had saw these things. I swear to you, on my children, this is what happened to me, to the best of my knowledge, alright? Maybe I'm fucking insane. I'll admit it. I'm on mad antidepressants. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucking bipolar. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother was insane, you know, and spent her life in an insane asylum from her 30s on. And that shit is genetic. And maybe I'm crazy. So maybe the monster that chased me that night was in my head. Maybe everything me and my brother saw at Picker Forest was in our heads. Maybe this whole fucking dream was just a typical night for somebody insane, you know? But I believe it was all meant to be. I believe for some reason we were chosen to deliver this message. All I know is I would never be the same again after that dream. The strangest thing that happened to me after that vision was that suddenly ideas and images would just pop into my head with ease. I'd pluck them right from that fucking dream. And the ideas would come to me from that dream. Same feeling. Like they just came. I didn't sit and think, like, let's think of something, you know. It would just appear like a gift, you know? And I'm telling you something right now. I'm a super Michael Jackson fan, and I'm embarrassed to tell you how many books I've read about Michael Jackson, all right? But Michael Jackson always said that the best ideas, the best music, the best melodies that he ever came up with just popped in his head out of nowhere. Nothing inspired him. You know, he didn't sit down with a pen and paper and say, I'm going to think of something dope right now. It was just given to him. That's the exact same way the Joker cards and the ideas for songs and lyrics come to me. They just appear. When they appear, I have no control of. I don't know what the next Joker card is going to be until it pops into my head. And I'm confident it will, you know, because it has since this night. It just pops into my head. It's a gift. It's a gift from a higher power, all right? It became all too clear to me what my purpose in life was. For me, the dark carnival in my vision is something real and something that is coming. Maybe it won't exactly look like it did in my vision, but something out there is coming, and it's going to consume all of those souls who are not pure. It's the basic concept of good and bad. That carnival let me hear the sounds of hell. You know what I mean? I have always been interested in Nostradamus and other great foreseers of the future. I learned as much as I could about them. I never read books, but I always watched the shows about them and shit. And during this search for answers, I found one chilling conclusion that they all seem to share. They all seem to believe that the world is going to end. Either way you put it, the world is going to end for all of us. Time will consume us all. We're all given a time limit. As I'm reading this book, the Missing Link albums, Lost and Found, are out. That's the latest Joker's card at the time I'm recording this. And there's a song on the album Found called Time. And in that song, I'm talking about how we're all given a time limit. Everybody's given a time limit on this earth. And you got to make the best of your time because it's always ticking. And Isham once said something to me, you know, very wise. He's a genius. He's insane, but he's a genius. And he once said to me, what's the worst thing you can do to a person? Take away their time. Put them in jail so that some of their precious time is wasted sitting in a cell. You know, that's the worst punishment you can do to somebody. Like a 30-year sentence, you took away 30 years and made it meaningless. Now, if that person goes to prison and is able to turn things around and make that time positive, like somehow he's doing something positive and he's actually not suffering, he's actually like living his life to the fullest, even behind bars, he's a very smart motherfucker, you know, because you gotta always make best of your time, because we're all on the clock. And even when you're sleeping, fucking, driving, waiting at a red light, fist fighting, watching wrestling, whatever you're doing, the time is always ticking. Time will consume us all. I very much believe in God, and I feel that the vision I had was His will. It is because of this belief that I feel that through our music, we can reach out to people who are in need of help, people whose souls are being corrupted beyond return from the evils of this world. You know, we all start out pure and clean, but the world is so dirty. We start out like a white cloth, you know, and then the world blows smoke through it, and it starts to get dingy and dirty. You know, that's how our souls work. I believe that with our music, though, even though it's apparently violent and extremely outwardly ruthless in its appearance, it has the power to attract and draw people who are lost from God. They can hear its deeper, truer purpose. The violence, the wicked shit, the fucking humor, all of that shit draws you in and makes it entertaining. And a lot of our music is just about entertainment. Most of it is. And I very much enjoy it. I find it entertaining, and if you're listening to this, you probably do too. But in there, layered in the music, is what we really want you to hear. We want you to hear the basic message of heaven and hell. We're not holy rollers by any sense of the word. We don't go to church, and we don't have a particular religion, and I don't believe the Dark Carnival is a religion. People say that, and if it is a religion for you, that's fine, but I don't look at it like that. I just believe in a higher power. I don't know if he's God or if he's Allah or Buddha or Ra. I don't know what his name is or what religion is correct. I only believe there's a Shangri-La. I don't even know if I believe in hell, because I don't think the Holy Creator would actually send somebody to burn in eternal hell. That's such a ruthless punishment that I just can't see the God that created us doing that to somebody, anybody. Because a lot of people are born fucked up. They're beaten their whole lives, they're molested, they're fucking raped, and they turn out fucked up, and they turn out evil, and they never find God, you know? And then when they go to hell, they're suddenly sentenced to suffer for eternity, burning, the worst pain you can feel. I don't believe that. I really don't. I rap about hell because in case there is a hell, I would hate to see a juggalo there. I would hate to see anybody there. So we talk about the horrors of hell, just in case. But me personally, I believe if you're wicked, you're not allowed into the gates of Shangri-La. You just cease to exist. Time consumes you and you no longer exist. That's what I believe happens. But for those who've earned it, for those who've shared positivity and spread positivity and diamond rain throughout their lives, they are blessed with Shangri-La. I very much believe in heaven. You could look at our music as fighting fire with fire. Those who never dig below the surface of the music of ICP will probably judge it as violent and evil. We know that. We don't care. Those of us who have dug deeper, though, realize there is a message that pertains to trying to save the human soul. We ain't no kind of magical fucking chosen prophets or nothing like that. We know that. I'd say, though, that we truly have within us a great concern for people. Well, most people anyway. This motivates me to do what we do. If nothing else, I feel I'm on this planet trying to do the best I can, and I believe I'm doing something positive. In the least, it's providing entertainment. What we do is we hold a mirror up with every Joker's card. It's another way for you to look at yourself and question yourself. Every Joker's card is you. It's asking you, are you like this? Do you have this problem? Are you maybe overlooking this about yourself? Every Joker's card is a mirror. It's a vision of you at another angle. And I feel that's me and Shaggy's purpose, That's why we're here, is to show you those mirrors and hopefully save as many people so that they're found and they can ride in Shangri-La and keep the party moving for eternity. Because we very much believe in heaven, and we very much would love to see the juggalos in heaven. People hate me for many different reasons. Some of them are justified, you know. I've done some fucking really wicked, stupid, fucking dumb shit. I have and still continue to be a troubled man who makes mistakes. There are even people hearing this right now who are probably hating me for everything I just said. There's haters everywhere. Fuck hate though. It is true I might have to get people's attention through hate, but I think I'm a good person at heart, and I'm only trying to do good as a man. I know me and Shaggy are good people. Now we are, and I think we're doing good. I think even though our music is so wicked and so ruthless, people believe our music has done a lot of wrong, but I believe in what we're doing. It's my life's work. Anyway, back to the story. There was no more brainstorming, no more thinking of anything. It was all clear to me as to how we would structure the future career of ICP. It was like the floodgate had opened, and I was suddenly enlightened to exactly what we're gonna do. 6 Joker cards, inspired by that dream. For each of the 6 albums, each one with a clown face on a cover. Each clown face would be a prophet of some kind. A newly arrived character from the Dark Carnival. Yeah, it has a wicked name, but you know, wicked is cool too. And that's what heaven is. Cool as fuck. Each Joker card will be holding up a mirror to people to show them something wicked about themselves so that they can change. And after all 6 have showed up, then it will be time for the Dark Carnival to surface on the mortal earth like the apocalypse. In what form will it surface? We'll all have to wait and see. That sounded like a good plan to us. Whatever you say, spirit ninjas. I feel like there is magic in ICP's music that goes way beyond my creative abilities or Shaggy's creative abilities. I feel it's brought to us by the powers of the beyond. I truly believe this. Other rap groups were putting out singles. We were releasing the end of the world on an installment fucking plan. The Dark Carnival dropped the ideas into our heads like bags of sand backstage at the opera. You just have to experience real good magic to understand the feeling. Now I know it sounds hokey, and believe me, we've taken shit for even mentioning the Dark Carnival in interviews. You have to understand though, I wasn't into clowns. We weren't into any of that shit growing up. We never had a fascination with carnivals or clowns. I never even said the word clown in the storyline of this book until my dream of the clown in Del Rey. I've never had shit to do with clowns, carnivals, or any circus shit. My brother was the one who was a role-playing fantasy fanatic. Shit, I couldn't read a book long enough to stay focused on what I was reading. The thing is, this thing just hit us. It hit us the same way people on late night TV describe how they were hit by the Holy Ghost. Me, Joey, John, Alex, Billy, all of us, we were all hit by this fucking Holy Ghost that was the Dark Carnival. We were all energized by it. It was like a gift from the other side. We were all inspired, like fucking, we took fucking drugs and we were all suddenly high, only it was permanent. From then on, we would be delivering its messages. It was just laid out before us without ever really searching for it. Pure magic, y'all. It had just showed up, scary as fuck style, and we said, we're gonna do it like this, and don't worry, I got your back. Everything's gonna be okay. We felt positive about our idea. We felt positive about delivering these messages. We felt positive about saying the end will consume us all. And of course, the world didn't end after the 6 Joker cards, and now we're doing 6 more, but that's all we know how to do. Deliver Joker cards and warn people about themselves and how time is ticking. Nobody knows when the world's gonna end, but I know one thing, your personal clock is ticking, and that shit is gonna run out one day. So make sure you're Trump tight when it does. Make sure you're found. Wow, man. Wow. Why us? I don't know. Why through music? I don't know. Why the vision? I don't know. I don't have any of your answers. Your guess is as good as mine. I can't explain a fucking factual thing about it. I just know that it's here, it happened to us, and it's real. Now let me ask you, do you think I'm smart enough to come up with something like this on my own? I'm a fucking dumbass. You think we actually came up with this idea of 6 Joker cards in the Dark Carnival and some of those bomb-ass songs and lyrics? You think we're smart enough to come up with that? When we hear it, when it's done and we listen to it, it's like hearing it for the first time. I have no recollection of even writing it. We're just like you, we're fans of all of this. I know, however, I've shown hundreds and thousands of people the same magic and they too feel it. Juggalos are everywhere. Me and Shaggy have done it. We spread the word and people feel the magic. I don't want to sound conceited, but you don't know how many people, how many fucking human lives have told us that the music has saved their life. Saved their life. I can't even count how many juggalos have said this music has saved their lives. It worked. It's working today. The plan of the Joker's cards, the plan of the messages, it fucking worked. Look at the juggalo world. Look at the love within it, the brotherhood, the camaraderie. The carnival is here on Earth. It exists. We gather every year. You think we're smart enough to come up with that? Look how lame I am. Look how untalented we are. I can't play any instruments, neither can Shaggy. Yet we have hundreds of thousands of juggalos who follow our music. Why? 'Cause it's real. It's real magic. They hear the magic in the music. It calls them out. It was meant for them to hear. Just as much as it was meant for us to say it, you were probably meant to hear it. If you don't hear the magic in our music, if you can't hear the calling through the messages, then don't worry. God will reach you in some other way. He will eventually reach you. It's up to you to follow whether or not you want to get your shit tight and live a righteous life. But God will eventually reach everybody at some point. All I know is that juggalos can feel the magic, just like we can, and just like I did during that night when I first got the vision. You can't tell me the Dark Carnival isn't real, brother. I hope everybody finds their own version of the Dark Carnival in their own lives if you don't find it through us. 'Cause it's damn well real, and it's done me well. The thing is, I can't even really take credit for it. See, the way I look at it, we were chosen to deliver this. That vision just came to us and gave it to us. The greatest gift I've ever been given besides my children was the gift of the ability and the ideas and everything that are the catalog of Insane Clown Posse. It's the greatest gift that me and Shaggy have ever been given because it damn sure didn't come from us. Honestly, I mean, look at me. I bought houses for my family. I help run a company where anybody who works for us can have it all if they work hard enough. All that, and yet still I eat NyQuils. You know, I've had a Vicodin problem and take Tic Tacs to go to sleep. I've had to take panic attack medicine. I'm as human as anybody. The Dark Carnival ain't about making me, live a holy life. I sin all the time. I'm still trying to be found. Shaggy's still trying to be found. We both are as human as possibly can be. Shit, I spent my whole life learning how to be happy with no money. And now I'm rich. And what is this, a fucking joke? We're still not happy. We still have problems. I still suffer from depression. That's why I can honestly say I think the Dark Carnival is God. I really do. Because it's a challenge. It's hard to follow and live a righteous life in this fucked up world. There's so much temptation. There's so much fucked up shit out there to pollute you. It's hard. Me and Shaggy don't live this righteous fucking life. We live a human life. Shaggy's battled alcohol. I've battled fucking pain pills. We've had our fucking share of trouble. We still live lives. I've been addicted to food. It's not all holy, easy shit, We're still suffering. You know, even with all the success we have in our personal lives, we still suffer. I realize that he has to speak in a language that in today's world will understand it, and they'll listen to us. We have to speak in a language that's gonna be cool to juggalos, to give them a fair shake, but we wanna reach them all with the real message. Rich people making it to heaven is like fitting a camel through the eye of a needle. But going to hell is as easy as walking through a gate a mile wide. That's what it says in some Bible. The chances to make it into heaven are slim and none. But the chances of making it to hell or ceasing to exist, in my beliefs, are easy as pie. All you gotta do is live a normal life, and you're probably going to hell. Because in today's world, the normal is to be wicked, is to live wicked, is to not give a fuck about others. You know what I'm saying? Is to not help, is to drive by a stranded motorist waving you down. That's the norm, and it's hard. It's the norm to not believe in God. It's not cool to be religious. It used to be, but it's not anymore. If you walk around believing in God, people laugh at you. People fucking laugh at us. You know, on the 6 Jokers card, when we said the Dark Carnival is God, we lost half the juggalos. Half the juggalos were like, fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying? They thought that was corny as fuck. But the other half were so incredibly touched. But we'll get to that story at the end. But that whole saying, you know, rich people making it to heaven is slim and none, and making it to hell is easy as walking through a gate a mile wide. I mean, that rings true. Just look at TV, you know. It's the norm to sin and to be evil. It's hard. It's a struggle to live a righteous life. I don't believe you have to walk around fucking a holy roller preaching God everywhere. I just believe you have to do positive things and help people and live a positive life and try to be happy. And I believe you'll make it to Shangri-La. If you're more positive than you're negative, if you've done more good in the world, I believe you're all right. But if you've done more bad, if you've been a nuisance on the planet, I believe you're either going to hell, if there is one, or you're going to cease to exist. Now, what would influence us to do all of this besides a higher power? I've hated people pretty much my whole life. It would have to be a higher power, because it sure as hell wasn't us that came up with this. I say God is watching over me. He's watching our shit. He's watching our back. I believe I'm rolling with Jesus, you know, not personally like Shaggy and myself in our personal lives, because we have to prove ourselves just like you do and everybody else. But the message of the Dark Carnival, the gift we've been given to tell, that came from God. I've said it 100 times. You're probably sick of hearing it. Every once in a while, like 1 out of 100, some kid will write, you know that song, Rebel Flag? That really showed me what racist my parents are. And I don't want to be like that. I just want to say thanks for making a song about it. And we'll hear that the good the music is doing, you know. People hear, you know, by us making songs about killing racist people, it makes people think, yeah, I don't want to be racist either. So the negative, we hope, has positive effects. That's the idea. That's what we came up with. And that's what was given to us. The ideas, each one of them, as we go along, are given to us to this day. The missing link, lost and found. You know, people say, hey man, those are very much like Shangri-La and Hell's Pit. Well, you know what? That's what was given to me, you know, and that's what we're gonna do. That's what we were like told to do. So we did it. You know what I mean? We did the albums as best we could. And it's a gift. It's a fucking gift. Gift, gift, gift.